if like my nudes ever got leaked and someone like was like, oh, give me $1,000 or I'm gonna share it to all your Instagram followers, I'd be like, oh, so fucking what is it, dick?
The one Uber driver who I will always remember was this guy who was literally having a breakdown in front of me.
Don't you think soon technology will go as far as to we won't need to capture a moment because we'll be able to live moments that aren't even real?
We could be in the Matrix right now, Wayne. You can't disprove that. You can't disprove it. If there was someone who came to me and said, look, give me $1,000 or I'm going to leak this to your whole family. Your whole family is going to see a video of you having a wank.
They've seen it before when I was like 4, mate. I don't
What?
No.
You got caught having a wank?
No wank. I've been technically caught having sex.
Have you?
Yeah. I thought this party or club I should go to on my own.
So you actually went proper clubbing on your own.
I've got
That's
pictures
mad.
to prove it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So I can go through the whole timeline of everything, and it's just like.
So it wasn't one of those nights where you just get fucking shit faced so you don't remember what happened.
Well, it was.
Have you ever like actually solo? What would you call it? Solo clubbing? Like
no, never.
You could be the start of a new thing where people are like, oh yeah, have you gone solo clubbing? It's an amazing experience.
Yeah, it's great. A lot of people already do it.
Oh man!
But that's why I was like, I want to do it myself because like, in the future, if I want to go to a different country, something on my own,
you got to learn to be able to.
Yeah, and that night, I was really anxious going there.
Well, yeah.
Like, honestly, the whole time I was thinking, I should just turn back home.
So you've never actually done that. You've never tried it before. Obviously, you've been in situations where you have been on your own, waiting for your friends and stuff.
Literally, I got in, I went to the toilets, come out, and then I just started chatting to some random guy, and I ended up making like 2 friends. Then like later on, I made more friends when they left because they're like going out the next night.
Yeah.
So
hang on, this is important, right?
I even got with a girl.
That's good. That's good. You didn't tell me about that.
Yeah, no, it's kept for.
So you go up to this guy, right? And so you go. So what do you go like? Right, mate, how you doing?
That's the disadvantage of being on my own because whenever there's a whole group, like if I just go up to him, I'm like a weirdo stranger sort of person.
Yeah, you don't want to be that tag along where people. That's the worst thing for me.
No, that's what I said to these 2 guys. Like, any point you want me just to cut off from you guys, just say. I understand. But I was really fucked by that point.
I think you're just a big. I think you get a lot of joy and excitement out of just like meeting random people and meeting new people. I think you'd be a good Uber driver.
Oh, I'd hate it.
Why? No, because
you get so many like when you're in a low mood, a chill mood, then you'll just get some hype dickhead who's just like, "Yo, what? Got any tunes, driver?" You get someone like that, and you just that'd be constantly me
trying to start a conversation,
about to grasp out, and then them just going.
You could always, you can always be like,
wait, don't get out of the car yet. Let me get your stamp. That'd be so weird.
Yeah, you can.
No,
like, if it's a girl,
if it's a girl,
it'd be like, oh, look, no, I like. No, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I actually really like you. Like, can I get your number or something? Because, like, why not? You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that.
If you didn't chat the whole time, then just as he's dropping you off, he was like, "Can I get your number?"
Just dropping you. I've had loads of good like Uber interactions, but there was the one Uber driver who I will always remember was this guy who was literally having a breakdown in front of me. And I mean, it was genuinely terrible. I should have rated him 1 star. I never really rate Uber drivers. I probably should. I just always forget. But like this Uber driver, I got in the car. It was about 7 a.m. I was on my way to work.
Yeah.
And he was like, as soon as I get in, he would not shut the fuck up. But it was like incoherent stuff. It wasn't like... it wasn't like, oh, you're right, mate. Yeah. No, that sounds good. Yeah, no, my mum used to do it. It's not like just chatty. It was like he was fucking ranting and raging about his life, like to me, like, oh, my fucking wife, like she never fucking listens to me, and my boss, and like the amount of money that I get paid for on Uber is just ridiculous, and fucking I get no commission and all that stuff.
Slacking off himself.
I think Uber drivers have like, I don't know what you call a boss.
They don't have a boss. No, they just sign into the app.
Yeah,
so his phone.
Yeah.
My fucking boss
he was talking. He was just ranting and raging to me about how shit Uber was and how bad of a shit job it was.
I've had that before.
And he was going, "Oh, I don't get fucking paid enough petrol money and stuff, and the commission money that I get is dreadful." And I fucking because
like they have to pay like especially the London drivers, they pay like a commission or something.
Yeah,
like, for in London stuff, it's crazy, honestly.
Yeah, and that's petrol money.
That's why you get more Bolt drivers in London than Uber drivers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Bolt doesn't make them pay so much for.
Look, I've actually got no problem with someone being real with me and opening up about how they don't like the job, but like, I don't know, I just thought like, man, like it's 7 a.m. just shut the fuck up. Like I'm just trying to, like, I just want to sit here in my Uber and just kind of
Yeah, but
he's
probably been going since like 1 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. And he was laying out everything on me. He was fucking seething. Like, he really was bursting out, like, really angry at me about just like his life and about how just things weren't fair. And like, I couldn't get a word in. I actually couldn't get a word. I was just sitting there like, yeah. I might as well not have been there. Like, if I wasn't there, it would have been the same. I couldn't actually talk. And then he was like, "Oh, cheers, mate. Have a good day." I just thought, mate, that was not a good start to my day.
He needed it. Yeah, he had a good day.
He needs a therapist or something, man.
Yeah, but that's cheaper. He gets paid.
True, yeah.
To go to therapy, basically. But no. So let's read it back into the club.
So you were at the club, yeah?
So I was inside. I went to the VIP area. Crazy. I'd never seen like the view from up the top before and stuff. I was there just chilling on my own. I went and got a drink, sat in there, was sipping, looking out over the crowd and everything. Oh, it was crazy. I was loving it. I learned more about myself and who I am as a person by doing something on my own, and I've heard that before from like a travel vlog.
Oh, really?
Like, when you travel on your own, you learn more about yourself.
Oh, 100%.
If you're like a hermit, or if you're
you know, how you interact with.
Yeah.
When I go on like solo,
I definitely learned that if I'm not in like an established friend group, if I'm just on my own, I feel like I'm a bit weird.
If you're not in a friend group.
So if I'm not like with friends I already know and stuff, I feel like I'm a bit weird.
You feel like you act weird, or you like come across weird?
I come across weird or
to other people.
Yeah.
Well, you'll probably be a bit self-conscious of how you come across because everyone else is probably with other people.
I think I'm more just like, I don't care what I say, so I just end up saying stuff that's just like really like, why the fuck have I just said that?
yeah.
Like
when we were in Scotland, we were walking around and like, I'm not gonna lie, clubbing in Scotland is really not very good.
Yeah.
Because we were like trying to, I don't know, we didn't know what it was like. In Glasgow, it's terrible. There's like the bouncers are very like specific about, like very particular about who they let in. So even if you show a little bit of like drunkenness, or even if you're just drunk, they don't let you in. They literally don't let you in.
That's literally like how it was in London 10-15 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, very specific about clothing, like you can't wear that in here. Whereas now, like I can get away with cargos inside a club.
Yeah.
They're basically tracksuit bottoms, but they're not.
Yeah. Do you ever have that? You know, when it's like it's sort of changing in season as well. Like, you know, it's kind of turning wintry now.
Yeah, I love
that transitional period between summer and autumn. What is the name of that transition? It's autumn, essentially what I mean. But like specifically like the transition between summer and winter, I get a really, really deep like nostalgic feeling. Do you ever get that?
Yeah, I get that. Like I get that. I love. Like, I've told this to you. Like I don't get how you haven't watched a single Harry Potter. But like I love Harry Potter, and the winter season always makes me,
because it reminds you of
it brings me back to like my childhood, that sad feeling that Harry Potter gives, but also that like hope feeling.
Do you ever have that feeling as well, like where it's kind of like, shit, man, summer's just fucking come and gone. Like it's just fucking like it just came, it went, and now we're back to winter again.
The lead up to summer is always slow, so it may feel like summer, but it's never really there.
Yeah, that's what I agree.
When that warm weather always hits. You then at the end of like July, it's August, September comes, bang.
But I think more sort of October time as well, specifically, is kind of where things, I don't know, get really nostalgic for me. It's a really nice feeling. I don't, weirdly, get it during spring, I guess, when you call it like winter to summer. I don't get that. I don't get nostalgic for summer, like, oh, like summer's coming. I don't know. I don't have that deep. I'm obviously excited for summer to come, but I don't get that nostalgia sort of feeling like I do when it starts getting dark outside and cold and you have to start wearing coats and shit. I don't know. It's a weird feeling. But what about this one?
I do get it for summer because I love the feeling when the heat comes and like.
Yeah, I love summer. Don't get me wrong. I prefer summer to winter. Do you prefer summer to winter?
Don't you remember primary school picking the grass, like ripping it off and then like laying in the grass? Oh, I miss
the sports days and all that sort of shit.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
now you're getting it.
But not like that visceral feeling like I have when it. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I really get it really deeply. I know. I ask people about it. And I'm like, do you? And they're like, yeah, kind of. Like
I think it's just like the weather. It has more.
And Halloween, that Halloween feeling when it.
But it's like, you know, winter.
The leaves are, you know.
You know, like winter, you can smell like when it snows, you can almost smell the snow. If you know what I mean, it's that. Icy...
I've never smelt snow in my life.
No, but you can smell like the sort of weather. Like in summer, it smells of rich pollen.
Yeah.
In winter, it just smell of like cold, just like bitterness, nothing. It's just icy.
Well, you know one of my favourite smells.
What?
Is What's it called? Petrichor.
Yeah,
Petrichor. Petrichor.
Mine's a petrichor. I think is it petrichor?
Petrichor. That's like when because a lot of people don't know what that word means. It's
rain
when
after
it's rained,
hot dirt or like dry dirt.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like after it's rained, then the sun kind of comes out, and then you have that smell of like fresh.
It's like damp wetness.
Yeah, fresh, humid kind of rain.
Like when clothes are damp.
Yeah. No, it's
weird.
different. No,
Are we weird? Are we just strange?
Talking about this, like
no,
specific
are we just
smells
fucked up that we like weird damp smells?
No, it's not like I don't sniff like dirty damp socks from like a fucking laundry basket and go, oh yeah, I love the dampness of it.
You've done that?
No, I haven't. No. Some people, quite a lot of people get what's it called? SAD, SAD. They call it.
They get SAD.
I don't. What does that word mean? No, I mean it's an abbreviation for something.
SAD.
Seasonal affective disorder.
What?
It's where essentially it means they get sad because the change in seasons.
So get all summery and beautiful, and they're like, oh.
No, I think when it starts to get dark, and specifically when the clocks change, and then you got like got less light, and you start to feel a bit like. I don't know, a bit depressed. I don't really get that.
But I get that. Everyone gets it.
A little bit kind of like, Well, today, I don't like it when the clocks change.
Sunset around like 7 p.m. Yeah. Whereas usually in the summer, like the sun can set sometimes like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So like I get what people mean because like you finish work and you come out, it's just pitch black.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember I had a job for like I
was like
nearly a year, and it were like most of it was during like the winter times, and there was no windows where I worked.
Yeah.
And obviously I'd go in quite early, and it would be pretty dark, and then I'd go in and then I'd come out and it was dark, and then I'd never see like
what
the
work
light.
Was that?
I was working at a data center for a while, and there was no windows or anything like that, and that was a bit weird. I didn't really like that because it was just I didn't see the light of day for quite a while.
In a basement.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah. I do like let-ins at like sports centres.
Yeah.
I forgot to put on the floodlights for this football match.
What? Wait, what the fuck? I didn't know that was... So one of your responsibilities is switching on the floodlights for games.
One of my only jobs. Like, during like,
do you just sit around doing nothing for this job? Like, one of your only jobs is turning on a light, and you didn't even do it, Wayne. You forgot.
I forgot. Like, I did forget. But it's like it's not that I forgot, because when I set up and like opened the gates, everyone got going and stuff. It was light.
Yeah.
So I'm okay, they're all good to go. If there's any problems, they'll come to me. So I go sit in the office.
So they're fucking playing a game just like in the pitch black.
But I think it was training actually.
It started off light.
Going off, and it's getting darker and darker. And by the time when I come out, when they're like going to finish in 30 minutes, I realise how dark it is, and I can't then put the floodlights on because it's been dark for like half an hour.
Yeah.
They were training for like 2 hours. So the first hour was all right. Then over that sort of half an hour, I can't then for the last half hour put on the floodlights.
Well, what else can you do? What, just so you don't embarrass yourself? These poor people are trying to fucking play in the dark.
All the parents are around the floodlights, so I would have to go on a big set of keys and open up this box.
Oh, so there's not like a control room?
Yeah, it's not just like I'm from like 10 miles away, just flip it on, they'll be like, oh wow.
So is it like genuinely in a pitch black towards the end, like where they literally couldn't see?
Honestly,
Wait! That's terrible! Did anyone know about it? Did your boss tell you off or whatever?
So like the caretaker did, because there's an on-site caretaker for like this school. One of the guys said to me like, "Is any like what happened with the floodlights?" I was just like, "Oh, I haven't been shown how to turn them on. I'll have that sorted for you next week. Don't you worry."
So they weren't that annoyed or anything. Have you ever done anything at work where you've proper been like, "Fuck me," like I fucked up proper bad, like I could get fired for this? Like where you genuinely know straight away, immedately, like I fucked up.
So there was one. So I really only say I've had 2 jobs.
Yeah.
I've only had 2. So
you were working at a bar, for a while. That's quite a while.
So this lettings job, I say my worst fuck up was, so I got given like 2 rotors.
Yeah.
And I was going off one rotor. And I was meant to be in a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot. And luckily, I had a good rapport with the guy that like rented out the place for Wednesday. So he called me. He was like, "Hi Wayne, just calling you before I get there. Just want to know like is everything going to be opened up?" And I was like,
"Shit."
I was like, "Oh, sorry, I'm not in today. So this is just like a customer."
Yeah.
So
I
was like, "Hold on, let me check it." And I was like, "Oh my god, I am in town. I'm going to be running a bit late." And my boss called me when I was like 10 minutes away. And I was like,
"Wayne, where the fuck are you?"
I didn't realise I was just working. Don't worry, I'm like 10 minutes away. He managed to get in and stuff. So I'll be.
How did he take it? Was he alright?
I think I explained the situation. It was a one-off and stuff. So
So that was a worse mistake, mate. You're lucky then that you've not made any worse mistakes.
It was either that or technically I broke a whole. Well, I didn't break the whole kid's arm.
Sorry, I need more explanation here. So you need to go back a little bit. What the fuck are you talking about?
Because there's loads of stuff that happens at the lettings and the coaching side of like this company and the sister company. Like at the letting side, I've probably forgotten maybe to close a door, close a window, which isn't that bad. But then the other worst mistake I'd say is like so.
You broke a kid's arm.
So I basically do like kids camps when it's like, half terms and stuff. And this kid,
right?
It's like the first session of the morning.
Yeah.
And his shoelaces are the worst shoelaces, and they're so undone. And we're playing like tag. I've set up like tag rugby, and they're going ahead. They're playing, and I turn around literally for a split second.
Yeah.
And he's somehow falling over onto his arm.
So why would that have been your fault? Because I guess because he was kind of in your.
I should have been more confident in my ability because like there was another time where I wasn't confident and like I didn't move equipment after like this coaching stuff went on, and then it ended up ruining the letting side of the job I had.
Yeah.
So like I was said to myself in future I'll be more confident, and then this happened, and this kid I was like, okay, if he's saying it's a 9, after like 2 hours as well, it's probably a break. And the camp director, it's really funny because he done the pediatric course with me. Yeah. And it like he's broken his whole arm, like we found out 2 weeks later, and the time he was like, he's fine, he's not crying or anything.
Oh man.
So I'm like sat with him the whole day, and
he said it was a 9, man.
Yeah, but then he joined in some stuff and everything.
Kids
like
exaggerate.
That.
Yeah.
And he literally, and the week after, I was at another school doing the camp at another school, and he comes in, he has this whole cast on his arm.
Oh fuck!
The owner of the company asked me to write a report.
Oh shit!
The day and stuff.
That weren't your fault, man. Mistakes happen, you know. So there were 2 things for me. There was once where it was quite early on in my job, and I get given gigs to go to like solo trips to film things like press conferences.
Did you go to like one?
No, so basically they book expenses and everything. My boss books like these trips away. So I was this was my first trip away, and I was like, I'm going to prove myself. I'm going to prove that I can go away, do a gig on my own, go all the way to Wales and like, do a good shoot. And this was obviously, early on. So I was being on my best behaviour, and he booked it. And I think it was like 140 quid for expenses and stuff to go to Wales.
Yeah.
And I didn't wake up for it.
Oh, for fuck's
I didn't set my alarm for it.
Oh, for
and I was like, I'm fucking fired. I am fired because I'm early on. Like, it's early on, and I've made a stupid mistake. I've cost the business like 140 quid. And I was just like, honestly, that was the worst one. I just woke up thinking, fucking hell, man. Like, fuck's sake. Like, why didn't I set my alarm, man? You fucking idiot. And I was just shouting at myself, going, you fucking idiot. Like, that's what I tend to do, like, when I get... I just shout at myself. You told me that
you got so angry that you snapped your phone in half. Like,
yeah, no, there was one time... Oh, my God, yeah, that was ages ago. I was going to sound like I have anger issues now. No, oh, God. Yeah, my phone was just getting on my nerves. Do you not ever have it where, like... You're trying to do something on your phone, and like, by the way, like, usually when people get angry,
Flappy Bird. Oh, for fuck off.
No, usually when people get angry and they snap, it's usually because there are 20 other things happening at the same time that are mounting on top, like compounding on top of you, and like something just makes you tip over the edge and just be like, you know what, fuck this. So I can't remember. It was after. You
do realise you can turn it off?
What do you mean?
Your phone?
No, that was my way of turning it off. No, it was just like. I can't remember what was happening, but there were 20 other things really pissing me off. And like, you ever have that when just so many things are coming at you? I've had it a lot lately with work, where so many things are just really, really fucking niggling you, and like frustration and stuff. Like, because ultimately frustration is when you're trying to reach a goal, you're trying to do something, but there's something stopping you. There's something getting in the way of that. Yeah. And that is probably the most fucking annoying feeling when that happens again and again and again. And I was just on my phone. I feel like I need to really explain myself now because it really comes across like I've got anger issues. But I do get angry, right? But usually at myself and usually when I'm on my own. It wasn't a new iPhone.
You switched to an iPhone.
I think I switched to an iPhone because of that. Yeah, I had to, yeah.
No. That was an iPhone that you snapped in half. You went from Android to iPhone.
No, that was another iPhone that I broke. Oh. I broke fucking 2 phones. Yeah, I broke 2 phones in anger. The second iPhone I didn't actually proper break, but I did throw it.
I remember.
That was when I was during an argument. But yeah, anyway, so I was real quick. I was just kind of I was just I think I was like trying to send someone something on my phone, and that it just wasn't sending, and he needed it desperately. So obviously the best solution to that is to fucking break the phone. And I just kind of like fucking scrunched it like that. I'm sure everyone's had that feeling before. So you went from
the back and you just like...
Yeah, and I just tore it. Like I just tore it
you're
apart.
opening the book.
And all bits of glass was all over. That's probably like the most intense sort of thing, act I've ever done. Like in proper acted out my anger. Anyway, so I was so sort of angry at myself because I was just like, what a stupid mistake. And then I obviously just had to call him up straight away because I think that's the best way. Like, called my boss up straight away, and he was just like, "Okay."
Oh no!
I was like, "Oh, I'm just so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry." And he was just like, "Okay, yeah, all right, bye," like that.
Oh, he definitely snapped his phone after.
Yeah. And I was just like, and then obviously I offered to pay back the 140 quid, even though I didn't have it.
Did he accept?
He was just like, no, don't worry about it, kind of thing, which I think is a right thing for a boss to do. But yeah, I ended up costing the business 140 quid.
At it, he's sending
I'm still there.
He's sending you off to New York now.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I think the ultimate thing is when you make a mistake at work.
How much does this trip cost? Do you know?
The flight to New York. I have no idea. But can you imagine? I didn't wake up.
How long are you going for? Like 5 days?
6 days to New York. Yeah, I was paying for accommodation and everything.
Accommodation and flights. Yeah. I reckon that is probably cost at least 600.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and that's one thing I like about my job. I go on all these solo trips where I'm sort of forced to get to know new people, and it's I quite like that. Because I'd say probably like naturally I'm quite an introverted person. Yeah, I do feel, especially like the last few years, I felt more like, like I need people. You need people in your life. No, like people where they're just like kind of happy, just like staying in their own kind of bubble and not really. Lately, I've been like, I kind of want to spread myself out a little bit, which I quite like about.
I'll never forget. I either went to the dentist or like, I can't remember where I was going, but I went somewhere that went like by. I had to get on like this bus. I'll never forget. It was just like this bus that went to like this area that I know was a bit like run down and stuff. And I saw this girl, and I know for a fact she was like in a year below me in like school, and she had a child, and it was hers. And I was thinking that's crazy because now you can't like I have so many plans I want to do. Like I want to live in another country for at least a year or travel. Like she's honestly that's all she's gonna do, and she can never go out partying. If she wants to go out partying, she has to get a babysitter or something. And that's gonna cost a lot. And
so you wouldn't have a kid now? I
wouldn't. Not now.
Why not? No, I'm joking.
I want to go out partying.
Fuck that. I don't even know if I would ever want a kid. I don't know.
Ever?
Yeah.
Do you remember that girl that I said I was speaking to a couple of weeks ago? Yeah. She said she'd either foster or adopt.
Why wouldn't she want to?
She said like she was more scared of like the health risks for like women because like you can go blind apparently and stuff like that. And
what?
Because it is a health like thing. Women's health is at stake when they have a child.
Yeah, but what the fuck? What? So no. What?
Yeah, I know that was a bit weird.
Such a minuscule amount. Like,
do you remember I was saying?
Obviously,
like,
there is a risk.
I know because do you remember I was saying like I was saying to you like I think this is the one like honestly right now. And then like then she says like I want to adopt. I was like great so you're not fuck off then.
That reminds me of this like dilemma I saw on Reddit. So like if a wife wants to choose like the genetics of her baby.
Yeah.
And like she doesn't want the genetics of her husband like passed on to her child, even though like he'd raise it. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, say if you like, in your 40s and you were like with this woman, and she was like, I want to have a kid with you, but I don't want it to be your sperm because I don't want it to be your genetics.
So it's going to be someone else's sperm.
Yeah. But you'd raise it and you'd look after it. But she just says she doesn't want it to be your genetics. Why not?
No.
Well, so you'd be a deal breaker, would it?
Because that's basically, it's not selfishness. It's more just like the ego to say like my genes are like the best, and I want to match them with. Yeah,
like she's got no problem with her genes. Yeah.
Elite pair of genes, like.
Yeah.
But yours are shit. Yeah. You're ugly.
She said she wants their child to have the genetics of someone tall, beautiful, with dark skin. It's like she like apparently that happens quite. What did she say? She loves her husband and she thinks he'd make a great father, but since she's the one who has to carry the fetus for 9 months, she thinks she deserves the right to choose what the genetics of their child should be.
It's not their child, it's her child, and some random person. It's not theirs.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Everyone
man.
wants like
Fuck
the best
that.
genes for like. Because I often think about like if I had a child, I wouldn't want them. I don't think anyone would want their child to be ugly.
No, you don't want your child to be ugly, but you're basically saying that the husband's ugly, then, aren't you? Which is such.
But then again, like you always see like
she's saying that she's not happy with your.
Sometimes you see like models and stuff, and you see their mums and dads.
Yeah.
They're honestly, like, what the fuck? How's that come from that? That's
Yeah.
It's like two negatives makes a positive.
True.
So
yeah.
maybe she's got it all wrong. She's going with a positive and positive.
Yeah. It's just, or it could just be a fucking unfortunate sperm. Just a really unfortunate sperm. No, fuck that. No, But the thing is, though, Wayne, it kind of like it is a complicated question because you got to remember you're in love with this woman.
Yeah,
you're a husband,
but
and you've been together for let's say 20 years, and like she kind of says to you, "Look, that's the only way we can have a kid. So it has to be someone else's sperm."
Well, if that's the only way, then I don't want one. Then
is that what you'd say?
Well, yeah.
You're saying, well, that's just selfish because I want one. You know how long I've wanted one, and like you're just going to take that away from me.
Well, then you should have said that you wanted someone else's sperm from day one, not mine. So, what the fuck?
Yeah. No, fuck that.
I think the reason why you don't like clubbing is because you have...
I do like clubbing, you dick.
But, like, you don't love it.
No, I don't love it. No, I don't love it.
I think the reason why you don't love it is because maybe you've been introduced to it wrong. And, like, I don't know, like, when you listen to, like, a good... You don't like house music or, like, stuff like that, but have you ever listened to a song and really, like, felt the boogie in your hips or something, or just, like...
No, I do.
Yeah,
of course I do.
So that's what I mean. So don't you like love going out then and just feeling good and like?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know.
I like clubbing. I do.
I get my energy from others, and like when I go out and see people having a good time, then it feels.
You do not get your energy from others.
No. And then when I'm in a club, it's everyone's having a good time. Like
you know why you? I know you don't get your energy from because I could see you in a room all by yourself, just proper going like.
Yeah.
You know, like that,
true,
like proper like vibing to your own music that's not even playing.
But then people would see that, react to me, and then I sort of bounce back, and it will keep on bouncing until it's everything, and then eventually it's sort of.
So I could imagine you in your bedroom like looking in a mirror.
Yeah, no, I have done that. I've sort of like naked.
I do that as well.
Naked, just sort of done John Bailey and little hip things.
You know, recently I've noticed that I never close my windows, and there's probably people always looking in when I'm naked in my room. It's kind of really creeped me out because it's like I'm just kind of oblivious to it.
It's the same with me. At night, I leave my light like in this room. It's really bright, and out there, someone could probably
anyone
see.
could see.
Yeah, my bedroom, I do the same. My lights are on, and because like
and sometimes I'm literally like dancing along or whatever, like with my shirt off or whatever.
There's an allotment behind my house.
Yeah,
and like my room looks to the back of my house, and sometimes my lights will be on.
Yeah,
and then you can't see out the window because it's just like So I've realised sometimes when I'm naked, like. Oh God, there could be someone out there. I can't see them, but they can see me.
Exactly, yeah.
So I had to start putting the blinds down at night.
And then I think, like, do I really care? Like, if anyone sees like someone naked, what they're going to do? Go like, oh my God, that guy's naked.
If they've seen me, it's too late. It's like
because they're not going to see my fucking dick. Like, I don't know, my window isn't like straight down. You can't see my whole body.
It's like if like my nudes ever got leaked and someone like was like, oh. Give me $1,000 or I'm going to share it to your Instagram followers. I'd be like, oh, so fucking what? Is it dick?
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
It depends what sort of nudes though.
Yeah.
Like if you got nudes going like really embarrassing nudes.
Yeah.
Like really like...
I mean stockings being
exactly. Depends how it's like orchestrated.
If it's just my dick or something.
Yeah, who cares?
Who would care? And, like...
I don't know though, Wayne. What if someone was like, "Oh, I've webcammed this video of you wanking"?
I guess if like a workplace.
Answer the question, Wayne. If someone recorded a video of you wanking and said, "Look, $1,000,"
unless it's like Black Mirror, where it's me like doing something wrong, like you know how that kid in Black Mirror, like he wanks over like child porn.
Yeah.
He gets forced to do stuff. I think unless it's stuff like that, like a workplace, like I guess they would fire you or not give you a job for something like that. But other than that, friends wouldn't just. Would
a workplace fire you if there's a video leaked of you like having a wank? I don't know. It depends on the sort of workplace. It depends on
what. It depends what role. Like say
if you're like a public figure, maybe.
Let's say if I want to get into because I want to get into coaching. Let's say one day if it does get to that level where it's professional, high, stuff like that. then it would get to the point like, right, we can't have this because it's going to be a big distraction.
What do you mean?
Like,
everyone knows that that's the guy who got caught
It's
having
like
a wank.
how footballers, when they have a rape case or sexual assault case against them, that's all the attention goes on that and not...
Look, ultimately, everyone... If it was a weird thing, as you say...
If a random account said to you, Wayne didn't pay me $1,000, here's his nudes, would you care?
If I saw your nudes...
Yeah.
I'd probably
we've seen our best mates, Dick, recently.
Yeah, I'd probably, out of curiosity...
But you wouldn't
have a look at it and go...
What the fuck? I'll have to disfriend you now.
Oh. And then I'd just probably carry on with my life.
What's that pause for?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're making assumptions.
I don't know. No, I'd just look at it and go like... It's not like a bad... No, it was just like a...
You'd be surprised.
It was neither a negative
I bet you're thinking
one.
It's this really, really big thing when really...
No, don't flag yourself, mate. No, it's more just like... I don't know. I don't know how big your dick is, Wayne. When it comes to proportions, I don't know. I'd have to see. You know?
I'd have to see. Oh no, what a shame.
But I don't know. If there was someone who came to me and said, look... Give me $1,000 or I'm going to leak this to your whole family. Your whole family is going to see a video of you having a wank.
I've seen it before when I was like 4, mate. I don't
What?
Care. No.
You got caught having a wank?
Not wank.
No. You're just talking about a dick.
Yeah.
No, I mean a video of having a wank, that's pretty embarrassing.
You're not going to watch it all the way through and be like, yeah. They're going to stop watching as soon as
that's
they see
true. You're right. You've got to think about it from their point of view.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to look at it and care. Unless it's bad, like something really weird that you're wanking
exactly.
to. Like.
So that's why I don't really care. Like, threaten me all you want. Like
yeah, you can say that, but when it actually came to it, that would be pretty fucking
I'd probably laugh. Because then, like, if everyone keeps watching it, then they're obviously watching it because they like it. So I'd be like, well, you keep watching it. Stop watching it then.
Yeah,
but
true.
then if they just don't watch it, and be like, oh, yeah, wasn't that nice? I'd be like, okay, don't watch it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
It's
true.
like...
I don't know, man. $1,000's a lot of money just to save a bit of embarrassment. Have you ever got caught wanking? Or you're always very sneaky with it?
No.
Someone ever whipped open a door and you...
No.
Have you not? Really? How mad. Not happened to me, actually. Really.
I've never been caught with anything like that.
You've never been caught in the act of doing anything?
I've been technically caught having sex.
Have you?
Yeah.
Same.
But
that's kind of all right. I mean,
that's different, I feel like.
Do you get that sense of embarrassment? You don't get that sense of embarrassment.
No, it's not embarrassment. It's more like I don't want them to feel embarrassed walking in.
Yeah.
So I want it to stop before they feel embarrassed. Because I'm not going to feel embarrassed. Like,
yeah, I've walked in on people.
I'm feeling really good right now.
Yeah.
I just ruined it. So they're going to feel embarrassed.
I think it's more for them. Yeah.
So I want to prevent them feeling embarrassed. That's why it's like...
You're right. So when someone gets caught having sex, it's usually the person catching them who feels more embarrassed. Yeah. When it's having a wank, it's the person wanking.
Because they're just on their own.
Yeah. Especially if you're caught like looking into a mirror doing it or whatever. I don't know. Or just looking,
did you know?
Just staring at a wall. I don't know when. staring like blank at a wall.
I've done that.
What?
No, but not.
Wayne, man, you're too honest. Sometimes you need a bit.
No, but not staring at the wall, daydreaming. So you're in your bed looking up.
Oh, really? Well, so you've just done it. What would you call that? There must be a name for that, like clean wank. Why does it always get sexual every single time? What? So you've actually you're not really looking at anything, but you're just kind of looking at the ceiling, or just thinking. Yeah, I've done that a few times. I've done that quite a lot lately.
That.
Yeah.
You know how everyone says about like sex flashbacks or stuff like that?
Yeah.
That where they're like they zone out and think of something.
Oh yeah,
and just snap back into it, and that's what I mean.
I've had that a lot lately. Yeah.
I'm not staring at a wall thinking.
No, if you're like an inch away from the wall, like, and you're proper just like staring at it, like, and then your eyes wide open.
Then that's weird.
I mean, looking into the mirror is probably like the worst thing.
You're not zoned out and stuff. But you're obviously just like weird.
Yeah. But I've got to say, right, just an update, because on the first podcast we did, we were talking about how I did no fap for about 2 months. Was it 2 months?
Yeah.
So I'm going to admit it now. I'm going to just lay it out, right?
Oh, you wrecked it.
I relapsed. I did relapse quite a few times, and then I got into the swing of it, started watching porn again, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it, and I'm going to see how I feel compared to how I did the last 2 months. Because I said it's worth doing, because you feel your skin sort of feels kind of more like it's glowing more. Genuinely, your skin's glowing more, your hair. And you feel more kind of alive, a bit more electric when you have it. And I don't know why, you just have a lot more energy. Well, I suppose it's because you're more driven by sex.
But that's what I mean. I don't want my life to be driven by.
No, you don't want to. That's the thing, and that's what I was thinking. That's why I kind of relapsed, because I was like, I don't just want to be some horny fucker walking around all the time, just thinking, oh my god, I'd fuck that, I'd fuck that.
No, but then
like,
all your intentions are like
sexual.
We talked about this. All your intentions are yeah.
So that's why I kind of relapsed, and then like within a week of like proper relapsing, I was like, it's the porn. I think is the worst thing. It's the worst thing for me. So
stop watching porn and just like look at Instagram pictures of the girls that you was talking to. Then.
No, I don't even think it's that. Or maybe that's not quite as bad. So maybe it's just like the porn. But after those 2 months of not watching porn and then watching porn again, obviously initially you're like, oh shit, porn's great. And then I started to not feel as aroused by it as I was before, because I was like, this is actually kind of gross. Like I don't know, in a weird way, like. Not because it was some weird fetish porn, it was just normal porn. But it was just kind of like, I feel different to it now. I'm kind of detached from it. And then I started doing what you did, where you just lay in bed kind of just having sex flashbacks and just thinking about...
I don't have sex flashbacks and just come over that.
Why not?
I don't...
No, just like having a wank over like what your memories
But it's more just me there chilling. It ain't me having a wank.
You there chilling? Oh, what? So you're not having a wank while you're thinking about it? That's even worse, Wade. What the fuck? Well, so you're just laying there on your bed, just like staring at the ceiling, going, "Oh, that was great. That was a great time." I thought that was how you got off. So you never. That's what it's called, a clean wank.
I don't just say.
Why not?
Crazy.
That's not crazy, man. Why do people? Why do people call it the wank bank?
To be fair,
because you put it in your memory, don't you?
To be fair, I guess more girls do that a lot, because like I feel like men need more of a stimulus.
Do you think?
Visual stimulus.
Yeah. So I think apparently women actually like watching porn more. They actually look at the woman more than the guy. Like the guys do. That's why the camera's centered on the woman more, because even the women like, even though they're not kind of attracted to...
Oh, yeah, like, even for her, like, no...
Make sure the mic's closer.
You know, like, the for her section?
Yeah.
Even that is all on the girl. It isn't, like, on the men, like...
Oh, really? Yeah. Because, like, look, it's common knowledge. I don't know if you've thought about it before, but, like, even, like, women who are straight...
Yeah.
They still have, like, they'd probably still get off with a girl if, like... You could say, like, oh, would you get off, like, who would you get off with in your friend group? And most guys would go, no one, I wouldn't get off with anyone. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But a girl would be like, ooh, maybe this girl, like, she's quite fit. And it's like, are you bi then? She's like, no, I just kind of would. And it's like, so girls are kind of more tilted towards that bisexuality. Yeah. Even though they're not, they'd say, I'm straight. But even straight girls would be a little bit more like, I don't know. That's why I think they kind of like looking at the girls.
Have you ever kissed another guy?
When I was a lot younger, yeah. When I was like 6, me and my mate he was like, I guess the story's being told now. Me and my mate, he kind of forced me to. It was kind of weird. Like I was under, oh man, this sounds so fucking weird. He used to take me under the stairs. This is genuine. This is actually genuine.
Your age.
I don't know if I've really told. I haven't really. I don't really go around telling the story. He was my age, yeah, and we were like good mates. And he'd always come around my house, and then we'd get on and we'd play. And then
under the stairs here.
Yeah, and then he would be like, "Let's go under the stairs," and I'd be a little bit confused. He had some sort of game that he liked playing under the stairs. This sounds like a fucking start of a joke. He would be like, "Oh, do you want to, like, let's just kiss, like, as part of the game?" And, like, I would just kind of do it back. And, like, at the time, it was like, I didn't know how I felt about it.
That never worked with
Obviously,
a girl.
Yeah.
You never, if it was like with a girl and like, let's just kiss for the game.
Let's take her under the stairs. Oh yeah, it's just part of the game.
But with another guy, it works. Why?
You never played. Yeah,
so committed.
Right? Why did I just say no?
I was with 2 girls once and 1 boy.
What?
And obviously, like we were playing like truth and dares and stuff.
Oh, you did.
And obviously, like we dared them to kiss each other and like.
What? Who? The 2 girls?
Yeah, and they kissed each other and dared them to like kiss us, and they did. So like, in the end, they wanted something back. So I was like, no, I'm not doing it.
Oh, what they wanted you to get with?
So
well, that's the inevitable thing that you have to do.
And they were like, I can't even remember. Like they were giving a strop and like basically the night was going to be over or whatever. Like
Exactly.
So I was just like, look, I'm going to stand here, mate.
Yeah.
And like, if you want to get more out of them, you can give me a quick peck. If not, and he ended up doing it.
If you want to get more out of them, did you get more out of them after that?
Yeah, we did.
What? So it's kind of worth it then. You should have gotten that out of the way first.
But so technically, I did nothing. It was all him.
He just pecked you.
I had my eyes closed. He forced himself onto me. I'm comfortable. I know I'm straight. I'm not gay.
So for example, we were sharing a hotel a few weeks back.
You and that guy.
No, I haven't seen this guy in ages. For example, me and you, we were sharing a hotel.
Oh
yeah.
We were.
And I did, just to let you know, like, I didn't set out for this to happen. I purposely did book for it to be 2 separate beds, right?
Okay.
But when we got there,
it was one big.
Was one big bed, right?
And you insisted to be shared.
No, I didn't fucking insist. No, but I said to you, look, if it's all the same to you, I actually don't care. I don't give a shit if we. I'd rather. I'm not telling you like. I'm not telling you. It's preferred. Like, I'd rather you slept in your own bed. But if it comes down to it, like, I really don't give a shit. And you have certain.
And very quickly, I just went, "Oh, let's sleep together."
Yeah, a bit too quickly, Wayne.
But yeah, I must say, that trip to go see Derren Brown.
Oh yeah.
Fabulous.
Well, that was what the trip was for, wasn't it?
Changed my outlook on life. I've planned a lot of stuff in the near future to do because of it.
What? Because you went to see Derren Brown?
It was so inspiring.
Yeah.
Because he said, like, look, do stuff now, like, you know, he made me really emotional, and I'm gonna really take that with me. And I forgot 5 seconds of my life. I'm never gonna get back.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That was pretty mental, wasn't it?
It happened to me, and I invested myself and tried to make it happen, and it happened.
So Derren Brown is like an illusionist, magician kind of mentalist, but he's more impressive than like the average kind of like guy who does magic and all that stuff. He proper like hypnotizes people, even though he wouldn't claim he's a hypnotist. He's like got loads of books on how to hypnotize and stuff. I don't know how you'd call him an illusionist. He'll have the ability. This is why I find him so crazy, because he's never done it to me, which is why I'm always going to be a little bit skeptical of it, because you never know for certain. You can never know for absolute 100% certainty.
After this thing that I've experienced, though, I would believe it.
Yeah. I think I'm tilted, definitely more towards it, but I'm never 100% sure. He'd be able to look at you in the eyes and be like, think of a letter, and then you'd be like, okay, and I'd be like, really think about it, and he'd be like, A. And then you'd be like, and then it would be right. No. Like, he'd be able to get it right every time.
I would think of a letter in a different like language, one that was in Latin.
That's kind of against the rules, isn't it?
If he said think of a letter.
Said think of a letter.
I thought of a letter.
True. It'd look at you and go, are you fucking with me right now? Are you thinking of like a bank, or are you thinking of like a foreign like letter or whatever? He'd get it. Like, not every time. Like, it's pretty, you know. That's like he got this woman to, like, he took her to the back of the stage, didn't he? And he like, no, didn't he? He did. He got people on the he got people in the audience to call this phone number, and then I don't want to like spoil it too much, because he made it clear at the end. He was like, please don't spoil it. But he took this woman to the back of the stage and kind of hypnotized her to like predict when a dice would roll, like the number that came up, like every time, and like she wouldn't be able to see it or whatever. She'd just kind of hear it roll. So she was sat on the other side of the stage when she came out, and he was like, okay, so we've hypnotized her to do this. Let's see if it works. And that didn't work every time. I'd say it worked about 75% of the time.
80% success rate.
Yeah, which I kind of liked, because it was like, so it's not happening every single time, because if it happened every time, you'd be a bit like, that is just fucking nuts. Like, surely there's a magnet or something. But like,
then the trick that he did when he said like, right, pick a time when it's going to be number 3.
Yeah.
And then she said it's going to hit 3 on the 6th time.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it did hit 3 in the 3rd, but before he said it'd be fine. And the 6th time it did.
Yeah. That's just fucking mental. Like, those sort of things.
Every roll that happens, the odds get higher.
Yeah, of course.
So after the 6th roll, the odds for that would have been...
Yeah. It was completely random, and he had people from the stage who was randomly selected to come onto the stage, and randomly. Do we know if it was random? I mean, how could you throw so he threw this disc that people could grab which would then randomize a selection so anyone in the audience could pick it up and be like, me, I want to go in the audience. And so, like, how could he purposely throw a disc so that, like, knowing specifically,
yeah, but he could,
this person who's staged, who's obviously an actor, specifically sat there in the audience, I'm going to throw that disc so they can grab it.
Professional footballers, they, like, train to kick a football in a space, you know, around the size of, I don't know, someone's...
Mate, did you not see that disc? It would
into
like
the,
go randomly. It would go.
Yeah, but he's
like
probably practiced that so many times. You think he does 40 shows over the course of like.
So you've cracked it. Imagine if you went on stage and you were picked up, and then like.
I would have loved to be on stage. I really would have wanted to feel.
Yeah. Okay, that's the best way you could have made like the most of that experience there. I mean, you got people to forget like the number 7. Like, there are so many things within that. But like
people count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah. And you're watching that thinking, what? How would people were you genuinely sitting there thinking were you a bit skeptical?
No,
I was a bit skeptical during that bit.
Once I lost those 5 seconds, I thought,
was that after the counting I think it was, yeah. So explain when you say you forgot 5 seconds of your life like during that like show. Like, explain what that was like.
He used like lights, red light, like flashing. I guess it's like a like mental sort of thing.
Trigger.
I don't know how it works. Yeah, a mental trigger. And to sort of elapse your memory into one seamless sort of chunk.
Yeah.
And he started off with what was the first one? Forgetting your name.
Yeah,
and he did that when
he made the audience forget their name.
Yeah, the lights went off, but they kept on going off every now and again during the trick.
I don't want to say too much of what happened, but
I felt the effects when the forgetting the man sort of walking, putting the thing inside the cradle, and then walking away.
So wait, specifically, how long? So there was.
So he counted down from 5. I only heard he counted up to 5. I heard 1, 2, and then 5. Yeah. So I missed 3 and 4.
Wait, hang on. So I think the audience are going to be really confused at the minute. So, like, listeners. So, like, on the stage there was something going on, right? And he would count 1.
So there was a guy. He was hypnotized, and he was putting. It was a little. What was it? A dice or object?
Yeah. Just in a box. Yeah.
So this box then was put on a cradle, and basically this man forgot every time he'd done it, and the audience were.
Seeing how he was hypnotising.
Forgetting it as well, but I wasn't trying to get involved. No. It wasn't until the last one that I did try and get involved, and I thought this is bollocks, but now I'm really going to try and see if I can forget this. And he said to like focus on the cradle, and then I think it has something to do with the background or the lighting or something.
Yeah, because he was flashing this red light.
Started to go faded, not when the lights were on, the red lights.
Yeah.
Everything just felt fuzzy.
Yeah.
Then when he started counting from 1, 2, I could see everything, it was fine.
Yeah.
Then 5, the red lights flashed on the end of 2 and 5, and everything just seamlessly, like, he'd moved a bit. I was like, wait, what's just happened? Then I looked to you, and I realised that, like, I've missed all that time.
So you realised immediately, you realised straight away what happened. I didn't, because I think I did experience, because I didn't
walk. I knew it was so obvious that he was going to walk and put it in, because I see the ones before.
Because he counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, but I only heard 2.
So did I. He said 1, 2, and 5 to you.
Yeah, but 3 and 4 we saw on the clip at the end.
Yeah, so he said 10 seconds
of him
That's
walking.
What he was fucking like, he was showing us the clip of when he was counting. So he did count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what we witnessed, right?
And he showed the audience.
And then
we could see us all in the audience.
Yeah. So it wasn't like some fake shit, like it was pre-recorded or whatever. And then, in our experience, like, it was only when you nudged me and you were like,
yeah,
you were like, oh my god, what the fuck?
And the guys next to me, the whole show, he was quiet and just there, like, not taking part anything. And then he went to his friend like, yo.
Is it really? Yeah.
Like,
I think that must have affected a lot of people, because he wouldn't show that clip.
Yeah,
at the
he
end
said
of the show.
like 70 or 80% of the audience usually feel the effects of this.
Because I think it was the manipulation of the lights, and as you say, like,
it was easier to do that than like making someone forget their name.
Yeah, but the fact that he made people forget their name is just incredible. Like, he's made people forget their name in other shows and stuff, so I'm not really spoiling it. I don't want to say any more than that. But like the fact that like so many people, like there was probably about 100 people out of like what was it, 1,500?
Yeah, something like that.
Who put their hand up and said they forgot their name. It's like I'm like not a very suggestible person. Like if someone tried to hypnotize me, it'd probably be quite difficult because I don't know, when you know quite a lot. Like I've read books on hypnosis and stuff. I'm very aware, or I like to think that I would be quite aware of like the tricks that they're playing when they go, you're getting
But then again, you were
sleepy.
still tricked.
I was there visually.
5 to 10 seconds of your life.
And I really did not think, apart from maybe if he genuinely got me on stage, and because I think if I was on stage and with the lights and the pressure and the fact that I was being watched by so many people, and I'm actually like in the presence of Derren Brown right now, like I think I might have been affected, but like, I don't know, I feel like I'm quite a difficult subject. He said at a young age, like he'd hypnotize people. Say if someone would like came up to him in the street or whatever, and they'd be like, give me your fucking money. He'd go up to him and be like, the wall outside my house is 6 foot tall, and he'd just look them in the eyes and say that. He said that in a podcast. He said like he'd look them in the eyes.
I think M140 hypnotised them, but they just looked at him really weird and walked on.
Yeah. See, I don't know if that's hypnosis. He explains it himself. He says he's not really certain if he knows what hypnosis is, because who knows what's going on in someone else's head? Like who knows what's going on inside the head of someone who's forgotten their name, because they haven't really forgotten their name. They haven't. It's just kind of like they've been tricked into thinking that they've forgotten their name, and they're going along with it because they're suggestible people, and so they're actually very consciously forgetting it. That's what I think anyway. I don't think genuinely someone is forgetting their name. Yeah,
it's just like, you know, when you forget something, it takes just that bit extra to remember.
Yeah,
I feel like it something like that.
But then again, I don't think I was consciously trying to forget those 2 seconds when it just kind of happened.
That's not suggestion. That was just,
it was an experience. It was.
So you know how like videos, for instance, on like YouTube, they compress files and like still images to save like data.
Yeah,
I feel like your brain probably works in a similar way.
Where it just
so
edits
when you
stuff
shake
out.
your head, stuff seems a bit blurred.
Yeah.
Whereas when it's still, you know, it probably works in a similar way.
Yeah.
And like your brain probably just got so.
Yeah.
Because I think we were staring at that stage, and you got us in that loop or cycle for so long.
Yeah.
That
and
the brain probably just got tired. The lights, it was dim. It probably just put it together with the red lights.
Yeah. That's so incredible.
It wasn't that suggestion. But yeah,
but he's done other things where he's like tricked people in. You should look into him. He's done things where he's gone up to someone like a cashier or whatever, and he's been like, so what's the there's something over there in Elephant Castle. If you just take it, that's fine. Let's take it, that's fine. And he'll hand him like just a clear piece of paper as cash, and because he's like kind of distracting them a little bit, but like they're looking straight at the fucking like blank like note. And he's giving it to him, and they fucking take it because he's manipulating them. That he's kind of like,
well, would they
playing mind games
like
with
a £20 note?
Yeah, they think that it's just a piece of cash.
But has he said how much it is, or are they just assuming that it's like?
I don't know. He wouldn't say this is £20. Please believe me, this is £20. It just kind of would hand it to them.
What's my total, like 16?
Yeah, they'd say like
it's only like, a tenner.
Like, they'd say like, oh yes, you know, £16 something, and they'd just give them. And while he's handing it to them, he'd distract them by asking them sort of a question.
But they might just think that's like a tenner. You can see them
putting it into the. Well, I don't know. I mean, what do they think when they see that? And then you see like him walking out of the shop, and then after a bit, you see them kind of like thinking, "Oh shit! What the fuck? He's just handed me 10 like a piece." But they didn't realize at the time.
This is, I'm gonna tell you to watch this, and it'll take you a while to get into.
What?
But if you really like those sort of tricks, you'll love Hustle. It was a BBC series about con men.
Yeah.
And they do loads of tricks like that.
Yeah.
But not so much like magic, like just hand a plain piece of paper. More like conning people out of a tenner. Like, let's play a game. You have a 20. I have a 20. Whoever bids the highest gets to win both the 20s.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll bid like 10.
Yeah.
You'll bid 20.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, you win.
Yeah.
You have to give me 40 though that you've bidded.
Yeah.
And then you get to keep
that's
that
more
40.
Math. That's maths,
so you
though,
think
isn't it?
so it's more like math tricks.
Yeah.
They do like, that's just a little trick that was in the show.
Yeah.
And
there's
like
loads of stuff like that. I mean, you see a lot of these scams, and schemes and stuff in London, like people along the street, you can tell what they're playing at. It's kind of fascinating. I don't know how he just manipulates people, but there are some things where I think, okay, that is supernatural. That is supernatural, and I don't really believe in the supernatural, so I think that must be faked. There was one time, I explained one thing that he did. It's kind of hard to explain because you haven't seen anything really apart from the show, but he used to do this old show where he'd go out to people on the street and just play tricks on them or whatever, and it would be quite fun. And he got this woman, like this random woman from the street, and he took her up to this building, overlooking like this street, like where you could see people walking along or whatever. And he'd say, okay, I want you to look outside that window, and then if you see someone in particular that you kind of like the look of, and they're like not facing the window, so say you're facing that way looking out the window, and someone's walking along and they're not facing you, like you can see the back of them. And he said, okay, I want you to say stop when you want them to stop. And they'd be like, what do you mean? And he'd be like, I just want you to, like, with every, just feel it, like, just look at them in the eye. It's like, what are you talking about? How the hell can you mentally stop something? It's all bollocks.
Just came up to you and said that.
Yeah,
just look. Just
fucking feel it. Just feel it. No, and he'd be like, just when the time is right, just stop. And then she'd say, I think she put her hand out. She was looking out this window and she saw like this. She spotted this woman walking along quite casually. The camera was on her at the time, and like on this lady, and she just went stop like that. And then this woman who was walking along, as she said stop, she stopped.
Jumped off the bridge.
No, she stopped walking. And for someone like Derren Brown, where you believe a lot of what he does, I think a lot of what he does is truthful. And like I witness, as you say, when you say that you genuinely kind of like witness something that was something that was real because it was in your experience, and you're like, you know, it's not the most amazing thing, but it's something.
I don't even have a video of it. Like I don't have a video.
Yeah, but it's just your experience, isn't it? And it's hazy.
I will go to the grave with that, and I won't be able to have a personal thing of that. It's just,
but that's why it's so amazing to me. And I love that. That's fascinating. That's why I love hypnosis, because it's all in your own experience, and that's what I find fascinating about him.
It's like I've gone through phases of being like a camera person who takes memories of everything, but then also being a person who like barely goes on social media and stuff.
Yeah,
both are good, but honestly, like the ones where like you experience something, you can't. Like I'm bad at telling stories.
Yeah,
I feel, or I don't know if I've got better, but I remember there was a point when I was bad, and like
it's hard to describe your experience when it's something that's so out of ordinary. Because
you want someone to feel it as well. Like I was telling a story to my workmate about me being at the Arsenal game.
Yeah,
and me having a particular top on, and me being absolutely like thrown in the air and stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, like
and she was saying to like she said it to her boyfriend, and she got me to say it because she couldn't convey it as well.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the thing, we want everyone to feel the feelings we felt.
Yeah.
But
that's fucking
like even a picture or something will show that, and it's just like just live the experience.
Well, pictures and videos describe things so much more clearer and
exactly, but
at higher resolution.
The exact
you don't have the emotions of it. Yeah. And like, can you imagine like 100 years ago where no one, you know, probably more than 100 years ago, where no one could ever take a picture. I get a lot of like these bizarre ghost stories and stuff like that, because the atmosphere in the moment, like think when you're in the dark, it's scary. But if you're just watching from like CCTV camera footage and whatever, you're not scared because you're not there. Yeah. And that's the difference. It's more of a visceral. It's amazing to think that people did used to live like that. Like, we are actually very new in our experience. I don't think we've actually quite like biologically been able to catch up with how quick technology is moving. Like, and it's going to move so much faster, because I wouldn't be surprised if in 100 years we're living inside flipping big storage units. Like our brains are. It could already be right now. I've always thought about this. That won't be us living. That would just be a copy of us. Yeah. If like the Matrix sort of thing. It will never be. We could be in the Matrix right now, Wayne. You can't disprove that. You can't disprove it. You living in your organic form, you can never carry on. Like your brain will die. Like you can only take copies of that. So what you're saying, like our brains will be like chips. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not you then. Like even no. What's the other Netflix show? Not Black Mirror, but the one that's like it that has Anthony. What's his name in? Anthony Hopkins. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I know what show you mean. That's annoying me that I can't remember. But basically, they have like a chip that's always collecting their consciousness. Yeah. But that's not you. That's just a copy then. And yeah. And like, yeah. So it's not actually real. It's simulated kind of reality. Well, it's kind of weird to think that we are very new to this whole thing, yet we're just so used to it, especially me and you, because like we've grown up with it. But like if you think like just over 100 years ago, no one could ever look back at anything. No one could ever, apart from maybe paintings and art and stuff like that, they could, which isn't a clear representation of things. And it wasn't until like cameras were invented that like.
But you could ballads. They've been around for thousands of years.
What do you mean by ballads? Like songs and stuff. A
story of the mouth, or
yeah. So it's a story. Like you can capture, as you say, but it's all emotional retellings.
Like
It's not like an exact, like nothing can capture a thing quite as crystal clear as a photo or a video or whatever, as a camera. Like it's always some sort of reimagining of it, if you know what I mean. Like if someone's just talking about a story, you're not actually seeing things exactly as it happened, as like a camera would like pick it up. But that's what's so weird. Like right now, like you go away on holiday or whatever, something can happen. Even this conversation is being recorded right now. We can look back at this conversation and we can listen to it again. People could never do that before. Like it's like people you could never pause
and write it down.
What are you talking about? I mean the exact moment.
The exact moment. Oh
yeah, I'm sure you can think about it.
But you have scribes that like just be like, slow down.
What a poor man. Fucking hell, his fingers.
No, he'd be quite rich. He'd be only one who needed to read and write for like 100 miles.
You know those people in court who like took transcribing everything. Like how the hell?
Do you know there's a whole university degree. Because
just
like,
on
it's not a whole keyboard like that.
Yeah.
It's like you have it's weird, like to use those things in courtrooms you have to go through a whole course to use them.
Oh really? Well yeah, I'm not surprised. You must just
when we're done here, it's like this weird little keypad that doesn't have exact letters on it. It's like you do a combination of like symbols or whatever, and it makes up words.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
Oh, that makes more sense, because I always look at them and think, how the fuck are they as quick? Yeah.
No, it's not a keyboard.
So it's not like a QWERTY.
No.
That's absolutely crazy. I never knew that. It's kind of incredible how you could, no one could ever pause and rewind and look back again at a moment and be like, what the fuck happened back then? You go on holiday and you take photos of your favorite things and you capture them and you're like, oh, this is great, and I've got this as a memory that I can look back at.
Technology has come quick and.
Yeah,
it's already fleeting us.
But that is something that is incredible and fascinating to me, is because hypnosis, you can't capture that with a camera because it's something that's going on inside your brain.
Don't you think soon technology will go as far as to we won't need to capture a moment because we'll be able to live moments that aren't even real?
No, I'd hate that.
I'd love it.
I'd hate that. What the fuck? You're not real though. It's not organic. It's not genuine.
It's not just a real experience. Like,
but I guess you don't know any.
But it changes you as a person.
Like, say if you watch fucking Saving Private Ryan, no matter how good the camera work is, you're not going to be like. You're not going to feel as though you've experienced being at war viscerally. I've fucking been there.
I mean, like actual simulation, like.
So what are you seeing?
Like Total Recall, like
I've never seen that film.
Oh my God!
But I kind of know what you mean.
Like, you know how like virtual reality goggles, like you're actually in the moment, like it'd be like real life, but you're just in it. Like
we're nearly there, man.
I know.
Like obviously virtual reality is pretty shitty. But we're not nearly there
because in like Total Recall, it's like seamlessly. Like he says, like we're gonna put you under. And like you don't even see the point where like the film's really it messes with you because you don't actually know if he is living real life or if that was the simulation. It's really weird.
So you are wearing goggles.
He's not. Well,
but he's just.
You need to go watch it.
Yeah. Well, so he's got like a.
Have you not watched it? It came out like.
I'm not
10
so
years
sure.
ago.
Yeah. There's some films where people are just like, how the fuck have you not seen that? Like you're a film buff and you haven't seen that. But yeah, let me just go like back and then we'll wrap up. The thing with Derren Brown where he made that woman stop, that other woman on the street. That to me is just. I mean, how the hell do you explain that? Apart from saying that is something supernatural. Because, so he got this woman to stop this woman on the street, literally just by, like, with her mind. She was
like, oh no, she had to stop.
I mean, apart from saying it was fake, but I just don't think it was fake. I just don't think he's as tacky as that. I just don't think he would fake something like that. Because he with the camera crew ran down the building and ran out on the street and stopped that lady who stopped and just said, "You just stopped walking then. What happened then? Like, what were you thinking?" And she was like, "I just shat myself." She was like, Oh, I don't know. I just think I stopped to think if I left the hob on at home, but I didn't. And I mean, you should watch it honestly, because I know it's kind of funny, but it's kind of fucking mental when you think about it.
I bet you there's outtakes of like,
yeah, yeah, that is true. That is true. How many times did she do that?
No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah.
But it is kind of incredible, and that's the only thing about Derren.
I believe any Derren Brown stuff I see where he does that stuff now, I'll probably believe it, because I've experienced it firsthand.
So you believe in the supernatural? Do you believe in mind control?
Well, no, not in the supernatural, unless he's done supernatural stuff.
Do you?
Has he done supernatural stuff?
Yeah. Did you not just hear what I just said?
That's not supernatural.
Yeah, it is. What the fuck is that then?
Telepathy or something like that.
Supernatural falls under
Oh, does it?
or telepathy falls under supernatural. Yeah. Well, you think supernatural is just like spirits and like all that. It's not just that, man. Is that what you thought supernatural is? Is that what you thought?
No.
Yeah, no. Well, it is, isn't it? It's exactly what you thought. No, supernatural.
Like werewolves and vampires.
Yeah.
And
Supernatural is all stuff that is unexplained. Yeah, man. Like, how the fuck do you explain that?
It can be explained because he was taught it by someone or how to do it. So it can be explained. So that's not.
No, but I don't know if there's an explanation to that.
But
how do you explain that, man? Tell me how.
Suggestion
Explain
or
it. You
something.
can't do that, Wayne. You can't say, oh, there probably is.
I don't know. He knows the trick.
No, you can't do that. You need to
Ask
describe
him.
something, Wayne. You need to
Ask
explain
him. I don't know. I didn't do this.
I don't know if it was in his book. I don't know if he ever. Yeah, that was pretty mental. That. I don't know if I ever.
See, it's mental. It's not telepathy. It's mental.
Telepathy.
Telepathy.
Have you ever tried
that's what it
telepathy
is.
before?
No.
Like, you know, where you look at an object.
I
and you're
don't
just like,
particularly want to connect to someone on a mental level in case I'm.
Wait, isn't telepathy where you make? Oh no, that's telekinesis.
Yeah, I don't want to connect with someone mentally, because then what if I'm doing something later? I'm still connected. Shit.
Yeah. Well, that's where the future's going, Wayne. When we've all got chips in our brains. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our stories of shenanigans and overall
rambling on.
antics. We need to set up some sort of jingle for like
Lightly off topic.
Lively off topic.